Thank you. Good evening. I think that my dear brother, my dear friend, Rabbi Rosen, did a good job for me. He made it easy, so I left there 90% of my notes. And I will try to be very spontaneous with you, to be a little bit more close to your hearts. First of all, I am very delighted to be with you here. And thanks for the organizer to have me. And the third thing, I am very, very happy because I didn't see him for a couple of years, and here we are together again. I would like to remind you also that my English is my fourth language, so please accept some of my mistakes. He said to you in his short speech that I am Greek Milkite, a priest, and this is right. But I would like to go a little bit back. I am Israeli, but I am not Jewish. I am an Arab, but I am not Muslim. I am Catholic, but I am not Roman Catholic. I am a Byzantine priest, but I am not Greek Orthodox. My roots are Greek Orthodox, but we were separated. What I can do? 2,000 years ago. So I asked myself, who am I? And I noticed that the easiest answer is to be real and true person. I am a human being. And I don't want any other different consideration. I like just to be a human being. And when I met with other people, I look to their eyes as a human beings. I will never leave the differences be as a reason not to consider them as a human being. And this is the reason why I have expectation from my state, the Israeli state, to let me feel that I am living with dignity, with freedom, and with justice. To be fair with me as a minority. And I will be very, very happy. But the situation is different. I can't argue with any of the words which said Rabbi David. I accept 95% with closed eyes what he said. But 5%, which is not so lot, it's very small things. I will be giving some comments about that. Because I want you to know what we are experiencing there. No one can convince me that Israel is not a democratic country. No one can convince me that in Israel there is no pluralism in all the meanings, not just religious one. No one can convince me that the Jewish people, they didn't suffer. But no one can stop me to ask the Jewish people to make it easy for others not to suffer, especially the 20% of our minorities in Israel. And here I want to represent all these minorities, not just the Christian one. Despite that there is differences, and these differences about the religious status are based on דבר המלך במועצה. איך אומרים באנגלית? The Palestinian, yes, or the Palestinian law which was adopted by the British mandate from the Ottoman Empire, and the Israeli, they kept or they preserved the status quo about the, especially the Christian status, because we are separated from the Israeli state. We are not under the Israeli state as the Muslims, the Jewish, and the Druze. And I give you very simple example. The judges in the religious court, which is, I like to call that the family issues court, they are appointed by the government. When I was appointed to be a judge and after that a president of the court, the Israeli didn't interfere in that. I was appointed from the authority of my church. So there is a clear separation between the Christianity or the Christian religion with all the differences of this large family, the Orthodox family and the Catholic family as sub-churches. We have no problems in this meaning. But we have some other limitations which are so clear in our daily practical life. I remember when I was the parish priest of maybe more than 7,000 believers in Nazareth. And by the way, I was the first married priest to be the pastor of Nazareth for our church. And I was also the first married priest to be the president of the court. It is a historical thing for me, because also in our church there is something which I don't like, but generally, or to accept the package or not to accept it. No one can force you to be there. And this is the same thing, or to accept your life in Israel or not to accept it. But there is third option, to try to change in a positive approach the things. So I received a letter from who is called the chief of the Christian department in the Interior Ministry. At that time was a separate department, a separate ministry for the religious affair. It was about 1991, 92. The letter was very clear. Don't marry Christian from the green line, as you like to use this definition here. That means the Christian, Israeli Christian, Arab or Palestinian in Israel, with someone who is out of Israel. So we were very upset. And when we gathered ourselves with the Archbishop, we said we will do what we have to do as a priest. We don't care for this regulation. If they are serious, let them go to the Knesset and to have a new bill and to be clear that by the authority of that bill or that law, it's forbidden to marry any person from the Arab Christian Israeli with somebody out of Israel. But in the other side, any Jewish citizen in Israel, he can be married with whoever he likes abroad the Israel, from America, from Canada, from Australia, and from another country. There is no limitation. So sometimes we feel that there is some people with their policy, they like to annoy us a little bit. We are not sure if it's from the government as policy really, or this is person who are more close to some right party in Israel who like to annoy us or no. And Rabbi David said that there is no any law or any discriminative law in Israel in the religious meaning. I said to him, you are right in generally, but we have law, which I asked him how we said that in English just half an hour ago, the anti-missionary law. Christians, they can't preach to convert any Jewish person in Israel. I know that this law is more directed against the Protestant groups, not against the Catholic or the Orthodox, because we have no any tradition to convert Jewish to be Catholic. Maybe historically talking, there were some cases, and yesterday, just laughing with one of my new friends here, I don't know what he said, I can be a Catholic priest with you if you like. I said to him, no, be Jewish, good Jewish, and not to be a Catholic, because we will be accused that we converted you. So I don't want to be involved in that, so laughing, but this is indicative thing. During my priesthood, it's more than 22 years, I can confirm, also for the video, that no one in Israel from the official authority came to my church or to my office, also as a judge or president of the court, and asked me to say something which is against my personal belief and against my conscience. It's never happened. But I know that many times that happened with the imams, the Muslim imams. But I can't understand, I don't agree, but I can understand sometimes why they do that. Because they are afraid that some imams, they can preach for extremism or for radicalism. And sometimes the security in Israel, which we call the Shabak, they don't differ really why that imam said that thing in that situation. But generally talking, I will be lying if I said to you that there is a deep interfering, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago. But still we have problems as a Christian. We want to be a little bit more effective in our society. We have a lot of institutions as hospitals, as schools. We have more than 146 institutions in Israel. We are in the core of our society, and we serve usually all the population there with no discrimination. In many of our institutions, 60% of our customers or our students or our clients are not Christian. And we are very proud to do that. We have some Jewish people also teaching in our schools, as in Berlin, as you know. We are very open. And this is the problem. We like to see the others open as we are. We like to have mutuality in our daily life. We like to be more protected for our social security, not just the economical one. We like to have, as a Christian, more jobs. And we have a problem with that. And this is the reason, one of the reasons why many Christians, they left Israel. And this is the reason why many flowers, Christian flowers, are in the gardens out of Israel and not in the homeland garden. Because we consider us as flowers there. I can tell you that the Christian, they have the highest Bigrut. This is the state high school matriculation. They have the highest Bigrut in Israel, not just between the Arabs, also comparing that to the Jewish one. We are very educated and very articulated people. And Israel, I think, they need us for the future of Israel and for our future, for the next generation. And this is the reason why I am here, to be that voice which will not be silenced, never in the future or tomorrow after tomorrow. I give you another two examples of why we have sometimes a negative feeling. We have two villages in north of Israel. Rabbi Rosen maybe knows better than me that because he's older than me 3 years or 4 years. They were kicked by the independence of the state from their villages. These two villages are completely Christian villages. Mostly are Catholic. However, for me, there is no difference. Even if they were Muslim or Jewish or Druze, for me, it's the same thing. They were asked to leave for security matters, the two villages for 48 hours and to be back there. They are still waiting to go back. They are still waiting to go back, despite that there is a verdict, a decision, legal decision from the Supreme Court about 25 or 30 years ago that they have to be back in their villages. In Ikrith, for example, one is Per'im and the other one Ikrith. In Ikrith, 3 years ago, our Christian guys, the youth, they wanted to go to their roots. As the Jewish, they like to see and to visit their roots and to understand and to learn their roots. They want to have the same thing. So they went there and they start to clean the place, to clean the cemetery, and to do some adjustment in the church. The next day, after they did good job, everything was destroyed. So you said to me, but it's not the government. But why there is no a vigilant eye of the government? Where is the police? Why, if there is something for security, the police after 2 minutes will be next to you? And when there is these problems, the police is able to know who did that. And they know who did that. It's very easy to know. So this is very simple examples in what dilemma we are. I can tell you with a lot of responsibility that the Arab minority, the Palestinian minority in Israel, are very faithful to the state. If there will be a little bit more fairness, I think even the peace process will be easier, because the internal immune of the Israeli state will be stronger. And when our friend Rabbi, he said, let us not talk about the occupied territory, I agree with him, I have no problems. But I have in my mind my cousins there in Ramallah and in Bethlehem. And once in a while, when I want to visit them, and I am stopped on the checkpoint, and because I am Israeli, they said to me, for security matters, don't go there. But I have the Vatican document. I am priest, I want to go to the Nativity to pray and to see my cousins for 1 hour, 2 hours, and to go back. No, you can't do that. For me, this is also a lack of freedom. If I say to you, don't worry, I will not be killed there. Till now, I didn't see any priest killed in the Palestinian territory or in Israel because he is a priest. Maybe the Hamas, once they killed a Protestant pastor there, and it was a scandal for that, and they start to apologize and so on and so on, within what we had in the time of Olmert, in that small, short war. But anyway, I want to stop here. I don't want to complicate the things. I want to go to the green line to be obedient, to show him that I am a good guy. If no, he will not invite me again, and I like to be invited again. I have another uncle in Beirut. He passed away without seeing us. So he said to me, so what is this for you? So if I am suffering for these things, and I don't want to see you as a Jewish suffering for these things, why you didn't allow me to unify my family? They are not terrorists. And you can see, I am not terrorist. I am a very nice guy. But my problem is that I don't like to lie. And I don't know how to be diplomatic, so I like to say the real thing. And my language here is the same language which was yesterday, and with the same language when we are together in Israel. So there is many things to do to ease our life and to be really person who belong to the same land and to the same state. Maybe last observation. What do you want from me as a Christian, as an Arab, as a Palestinian? Good Palestinian. What do you want me to do if the flag is the David Star? I love you. How I can identify myself with David Star? Biblically talking, I have no problem. Theologically talking, I have no problem, guys. I have no problem with it. Practically talking, as an Arab, I have a problem. I want the flag of my country to present me also, to share it. I know that this is very important for the Jewish people. I know that. I understand that. But emotionally talking is difficult for me. Or take, for example, I will read the word here because I don't want to make a mistake. The national anthem. The national anthem speaks about the success of the Zionist aspirations. But I am not Zionist, and I can't be. If I will be, I will not be a real man. There is so many Jews, they are not Zionists. And I don't take in consideration the Neturei. There is other people who are Jewish and they are not Zionists. There is some Jewish, they said that the Zionism period, it's done. But this is not my business. I don't want to be involved in that discussion. But as an Arab, Palestinian, Christian, Israeli, I would like to be proud of my country. I like to be thankful for the things which I have in Israel, and I can have, and I haven't. And I never was afraid when people, they ask me, where you are coming from, the first thing I say, I am from Israel. And I paid many times a bad price because I said that. Because people, they want me to say I am Palestinian. I am Palestinian, but I am Israeli. I can't say that I am not Israeli. I have the Israeli passport. I was born there. My family is rooted there. This is my country. This is my people. I care for them, all of them. I don't like to see people suffering if there is possibility not to suffer. And this is very important. And this is the reason why I look to the eyes directly. Because I know that I am sincere. And I am not afraid to be so. And this is the reason why we priests, mainly we have black color. Because it's heavy color. It is sadness. It's a sign of suffering. It is the sign of service in the other. And so on. So the Druze, by the way, they serve in the army. And many of our friends, they justify, especially the government, that we have no the full rights because we are not serving in the military. First of all, this is not my fault that I am not serving in the army. By the way, when I went back to Israel after 11 years of study and work and teaching in Rome, I wanted to be in the police as psychologist. I wasn't accepted. I wasn't accepted. So from one side you said to me no, from the other side you come and you claim you are not serving. The answer is by you. So the Druze are serving 3 years. It's obligatory for them, it's mandatory. We were freed from that for many reasons. By the beginning of the neonatal state. But they still, despite they serve, their budgets in their villages are less than the budgets of the equal village or town or city, the Jewish one, I mean. For example, Nazareth Aliyat, they have, let us say, 2 million as a budget, and Carmen, they have the same population, they have no, but I am giving that as example. They will have less minimum 30%. But they are serving. Or there is other justification. This money comes from donation, fundraising out of Israel, from Jewish agencies, for just the Jewish. Okay, I have no problem. If he wants to donate 1 million just for Jewish, I have no problem. But the official budget should be fair for both the two sides. There is no argument here. I don't know if you can convince me yes or no. So with the justification of the army, the service in the army, with the justification of security matters, sometimes they allow themselves to do things which they should not do. But in grosso modo, as we say in Italian, in general, we enjoy in Israel a lot more freedom than in the Arab country. And I am very sorry if there is any Arab from the Arab country here. Because in Israel we have minimum the possibility to go to the court and even to put inside the jail or the prison that minister or that president of the state. In the Arab country we can't do that. Thank you.